Hey, it's Rich Tehrani. Thanks for watching. Welcome to the 25th ITEXPO TECHSUPERSHOW interview of Andy Abramson. This is actually the 41st event. It's February 2024. We're in Fort Lauderdale. Andy, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Rich. I think I've probably been to about 35 of them. I know I missed a couple, but that was back. I think when I started to miss them was when they were down to a single-digit show a year versus when you used to do East and West. And I used to love it when it was on the West Coast in San Diego, San Jose. Those were fun shows too. But I have to give you and Dave and Joe and Maureen and Michael a big, big applause because this is by far the best IT Expo in a decade or more. The crowd is packed. The line to get into the expo hall was literally we call it around the block, even though it was from end to end in the building. And the conferences, I moderated 2 panels this morning, standing room only. So when I see that, the standing joke used to be sometimes there's more panelists than people in the room in the real salad days and when business was slow. Not anymore. Congratulations.
Thank you so much, Andy. Really appreciate it, and appreciate you being a loyal partner to the show for decades. It's been great. It's been a wild ride, and the one certainty is that the market will evolve and change, and you adapt or die. Right? It's the reality, and both of us in our businesses have had to adapt and evolve, and you've done the same, right?
I use that exact phrase about in one of the AI panels, either the CPAS or UCAS panel that I moderated, where I said, look, just like the former chairman of Procter & Gamble said at the dawn of the internet, adapt or die, you're right. And you guys have certainly adapted. You've got Apple here, first time ever Apple's been at a non-Apple show since the days of Macworld, which was put on by Macworld magazine, and Apple supported it. Literally the first time in at least over a decade since Apple came to a non-Apple event. So congratulations to you and Dave for pulling that off. But what's really good about it is the energy here. The energy at IT Expo this year is, if you had a Geiger counter, it would be off the chart.
Thank you so much, and I really appreciate that. I'd like to focus a little bit about what you're doing, your company, how you're differentiating, and how you're helping your clients. Could you go over that for us, please?
Well, we're at 58 exits now, $9.3 billion for the first 40 so of them, because there's some we just can't talk about. The numbers were never publicly released, so we can announce that we helped them on the exit, meaning that the liquidity moment, that's when founders, shareholders all get liquidity and walk away with more money, hopefully, than they put in. There's been a few mercy sales in there. So we're doing the value creation communication work a lot more, which is building the narrative, the story that sets the agenda of who you are. You tell a story, but we build the story so other people can tell your story as if you told it yourself. We call that the legend. You have a story. When somebody talks about Rich Tehrani, that's building your legend. And then we help people architect their backstory. That's the facts that support the legend and the story. Like, Rich is great. You come to Rich's event, this happens. The legend of IT Expo. You have to come there because you're going to meet a lot of companies. You're going to do a lot of business. That's other people saying, come to IT Expo. And then there's the results. How many people were here? What they got from it, what they benefited, how they benefit, and people showing that every year we grow our business with IT Expo. So we're doing a lot of architecture of identity work. We're also showing companies how to navigate the boulevard of communication, which is really where you tell your story, how you tell your story, what you say, but most importantly, when you say it. A lot of companies will go head to head with Macworld, Apple's Worldwide Developer Conference rather, or they'll go up against Google I/O, or they'll go up against CES. We teach them how to navigate the timing of the calendar to work to their benefit. So we're doing a lot of that. We're working with companies in multiple disciplines. Not everyone always thought of us as a telecom shop. We've got an AI video creation company called AugX Labs. It's just released Augie Storyteller. We're working with a home developer here in Florida on the West Coast across from Anna Maria Island that has the most energy efficient homes in the world, the only development ever to receive the U.S. Green Building Council's LEED Net Zero certification, the first one and the only one to date in the United States. That's Hunters Point. Working with a couple telecom companies to help them tell their story better. And then I'm also working with SNOM. SNOM Americas is here. We're having a great time with them. They're a big sponsor here. We were fortunate enough to be the official phone of ITEXPO. First time ever. What I couldn't believe is when I asked you guys, can we be the official phone of ITEXPO? It was like, no one's ever done that before. Here you had a show for 40 some shows, and we're the first official phone ever, so we're having a lot of fun here.
And just go off topic for a second, but it's a quality phone. It's a phone I've used myself for many years, and they do a good job, and we're proud to be associated with them.
Well, Michael showed me he's using it, Michael Gennaro. Dave, first words out of Dave's mouth when I introduced him to Mark Magliano, he goes, love the phone. So, we're happy that you're doing that, but it's more important to be building brand, and that's really what Comunicano's been all about. We build the brand so that others can more easily know who they are. That's what we're doing with SNOM.
Fantastic. What else should we know?
I didn't pick a team in the Super Bowl because one friend of mine grew up in Kansas City and my son's a diehard 49ers fan, so I was like, go 49ers to him and go Chiefs to her, and everybody's happy. And I had no skin in the game. People think I'm a sports fan because I grew up in sports especially after I won the Ed Snyder Award last summer in the honor of what he did and what I did with the Philadelphia Flyers. I really don't care anymore about who wins or loses. I have more fun watching the athleticism, like watching Steph Curry do that unbelievable turnaround three-pointer with 0.7 of a second left the other night in the Warriors game, where that bounce pass came in and he literally picked up the ball. I love seeing that. Or when Connor McDavid, the guy with the Blackhawks, did a lacrosse-style tap-in from behind the net. That's athleticism. I love that kind of stuff. Or somebody scoring a touchdown that he never should have because they evaded 5 tackles. I love that stuff, but I really don't care who wins or loses anymore, so that's what you should know.
Thanks for being here, Andy.
Thanks for having me, Rich.